In this video, I'll be showing you 7 drills you can use to perfect your accuracy on Call of Duty. I'm recording this on Black Ops 7, but these drills are timeless. You can use them on any Call of Duty in the past or in the future to come. These drills also apply to any first-person shooter video game, so as long as you see fit, you might have to translate it to the game, but the concepts all apply. Just a quick background before we get started. I am a solo queue iridescent pretty much on ranked play in Call of Duty, which is the top division right below top 250, and I definitely would hit top 250 with the right team. I've also been top 100 in the world for headshots on the last 3 Call of Duties. Before I get into the first drill, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and also if you could like it, that would be much appreciated. For the first drill, I have what I'm going to call a tracing drill. So you could pretty much do this on any object, but I'm in the firing range right now, and a good thing to do it on would be this right here. You could do it on, like I said, anything, but here's a good one because there's lots of grooves. So you're basically going to trace around the gun, right? And try to, you could kind of right here, for example, you could kind of just go like that instead of trying to trace in those little grooves. But if you go around, just try to trace the gun. See, it requires focus. I'm trying to be pretty good about it. So yeah, so if you trace the gun, what this will do, this will actually train your brain to slow down and really focus on those micro adjustments. So I think that this could really help you. This is even a good way to warm up before you start playing, because it requires a lot of focus. Definitely give that one a try. You could even switch it up, use different guns, again, trace different things, but tracing something like this that's flat, that's not really too beneficial because there's not much micro adjusting. But for something like this, for example, all right, so as you saw, I got some daily update or something, so we're back. But a gun like this where there's a lot of different grooves to go around, this is very beneficial. Like I said, a flat surface, that's easy. And then you could also you could stand further back. You could use a red dot sight. You could use iron sights. If you stand closer, you'll see more grooves, right? This right here would be pretty annoying to go in and out of this. I mean, that's actually a real way to fine tune your micro adjusting though, because it's so small and tedious. Definitely give this tracing drill a try. It's probably the best drill in this video. But yeah, because now once you go from tracing something like this, right, to you shoot real targets, it's obviously this is really training your precision. Especially if you're an AR player and you're shooting people from range. If that target back there, see the dot pretty much just covers their body. If they're moving around, right, it's going to be very small micro adjustments. Whereas like this, it's very small. So it teaches your brain to really, again, focus on those micro adjustments. All right, now I have a couple drills that you can do in private match against bots. First one being headshots only. So you're going to go in, just get headshots. Oh my God. Don't look like that. So there we go. There we go. Gotta make up for that. All these echo units, why are they all using this shit? So you go in, you aim for the head, because there we go. When you aim for a smaller target like that, it'll be much easier when you go to aim for the body. There you go. That's some good shots right there. So yeah, you're aiming for a smaller target. So when you go to aim for the body, be much easier. All right, for the third drill, I have line your crosshairs up with the enemy. So again, I'm in a private match against bots. The goal of this drill isn't really to kill them, although you could, but it's basically lining up like this, how I'm doing right now. Because it's basically practicing the first step in a gunfight is pretty much, you're having your crosshairs and then you're pretty much you're lining it up, centering, and then you just aim in and shoot. So it's practicing that first step. Again, you can You could focus on just the crosshairs and not kill them, or you could focus, you know, you could line it up and then shoot. So that's really your call, but this drill is basically to focus on lining each enemy up with your crosshairs. For the next drill, I have shoot 100% accuracy. So your goal here is basically to hit your first shot and don't shoot any extra bullets. So you're pretty much hitting 100% accuracy, or trying to at least. You know, yeah, you're gonna miss a couple bullets maybe here and there. And also, I'm doing it a little fast here. You could slow it down however you would like. I know Dashy uses this one, and he actually does it very slow in the firing range. The goal here is to kind of train your brain to be precise rather than just spray and pray. Alright, for the next drill, I have a snapping drill. You're going to want to come right here because you're in the middle of the map. And it's, you know, it's a high traffic area, and you could see pretty much, you could see a lot. I'm on 107 FOV. I could pretty much see like there and there. And then, what is it, the middle of the map? So people could walk out of there, back there. They could spawn over there. There's like 100 different places that people could just walk out of. So you stand here and you basically just try to be fluid. You look for any little movement. And then you try to just snap to them. So you can do it. I don't know why I have 11 bots. How, you know, this should be flooded right now, but I don't know what they're doing behind the houses. All right, you could do this. You know, without ADSing, or you could try to focus on it. You could also just try to ADS snap. Yeah, so this, you know, two separate drills, non-ADS or ADS. All right, for this next drill, I want you to go into your controller settings, turn off your sprint assist if you play with that on normally, and then after the game, you can turn it back on. The point of this drill is to, you're gonna bot walk around, like don't sprint at all, and just react, you know, kill them normally. But what this does is, for one, you're taking the movement out of it, so now all you have is your accuracy. And also, I think it like calms you down, which in order to have a good shot, you're gonna want to be calm. You don't want to be all tense. So, oh, well, see, it must have been all tense right there. Yeah, give it a try. I don't know exactly how to explain it or why it works, but this is a huge one. I think aside from accuracy too, I think it can maybe show you, maybe it could help you with when to sprint, when not to sprint. You could try this in public match as well, not just against bots. All right, for the next drill, I have slow peeking. So when it comes to, I mean, this video, I was mainly focusing on snapping. But there's basically two types of aiming in first-person shooters. You have your, you know, you have your snap, like that, and then you have your slow peek, right? So you kind of, you know, you're gonna slowly peek around corners, right? And especially when you're playing against better players, let's say you're a Descent Plus, you're gonna have less room for snapping. I know that this video is very heavy with the snapping drills. Literally every single one is for snapping except for this last one right here. But funny enough, the slow peek is actually way more important than snapping, right? If I were to slide out here and then I have to snap to that guy like that, that's going to take way, it's going to be way less effective than if I were to kind of slow peek it, right? And when I say slow peek, it doesn't necessarily have to be slow. See, if you're lining it up, it's always more effective than if you have to adjust. Which you can get away with it depending on what level you are. The higher you go, like I said, the less room you have for error and snapping. So it's very important to focus on your slow peek. How you could do that is to slow it down again and focus on kind of turning the corner. See how as I'm moving my left stick, I'm moving my right. See, and you'll still, like I said, you're still gonna have to snap, even if you, like, let's say I'm slow peeking, and then look, he's running that way, so I still have to snap to him, but the goal is to snap less. You want to try to snap as little as you possibly can. I actually talked about this in my video for Black Ops 6, and I did it right here where I don't think I had bots in that lobby, but I was just walking around here like this. Right? With bots, I guess, yeah, you have something to shoot. Like, and these guys are just lining up actually perfectly right now. But kind of slow peeking these corners. And just really, it's almost like the micro adjusting where you want to be steady and kind of keep it as close to the wall as possible. See, like right there, if I'm peeking like that, and of course I die, but if I'm peeking like that versus I slide out and I have to snap, who do you think's gonna win that gunfight? On the last aiming drill video, somebody asked me how often they should do it, so I wanted to just answer that question now. That is completely up to you. I don't have some secret formula of, you know, how often you should use it. Although I will say you could kind of cherry pick some of these drills and maybe use them to warm up before your games. Like specifically the first one, the tracing drill. The tracing drill is good because you could just join into the firing range real quick. It takes like 2 seconds, so you could literally do it as your match is starting up and just trace it once or twice. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you do try these drills, which one was your favorite, and if it helped you improve at all. I hope it does, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like rating and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'll see you in the next one.